the main purpose of their leaving their profession or whatever to come and contest an election was for self-aggrandizement. I want to become a governor. Yes, we know. But the reason why I'm going there is to peddle influence, make more money, feather my nest. Even the presidents we've had. That is why you find out that even when they are retired, they see any small loophole, they enter and they want to become governors or president. How be it that a man who is just a senator, who I see from the Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Allocation Committee, measures, how much is he getting? How much is the salary of a president? How much is the salary of a vice president? Or that of the governors? If you look at the salary structure by that ROMAFC, most people will not go there with genuine intentions. If you want to be a president of Nigeria and you look at the salary structure of how much you receive in a month and a year, you will not dare go there. That place will be vacant. Nobody will go in there. But most of them go there with the intention that when they go there, they're going to subvert, part of the constitution. For instance, section 162. All the governors in Nigeria or intending governors in Nigeria know about section 162. He talks about sharing money. A local government chairman will tell you he knows how much he's getting from the allocation account this month. And if a couple, leaves up, he will cry foul. So you find that the intention and intent of most of these people who want to go there, first of all, is that I want to go there and become popular. My family will now see it as an opportunity for me to share for the national cake. That is why you see my wife will begin to follow me to campaign. Immediately I win and I become governor. My wife, who was a common trader before, will begin to gather women around and say, we have arrived. She now says she's the first lady. Begin to set up things that will bring in billions, whatever. Most of the governors who are billionaires today never worked and got 1 million naira in 2 transactions, legally speaking. Most of them, I speak with due respect to them, that most of them who are in that particular office today, who are the buccaneers today, who have brought Nigeria to its ruination, that has brought Nigeria to this standstill and stunted growth and sufferings on the face of the masses. Most of them have ever worked to earn 1 million naira in a year. But immediately they come in, they transmogrified and now became billionaires overnight, nothing over us. They now wear shoes of about 500,000 naira, 1 million naira, jackets of 20 million, etc. as the case may be. It's so sad. So this is the reason. So what we need to do, first of all, is not for you to say, do a reform. What are reforms? The first reform we need to do, first of all, in Nigeria here, is ethical revolution. Let it be that those who want to contest election will go to a reformatory house. That you not tell them that, look, that place is not for you to go and capture whatever. It's there for you to go and serve the people. The second one is electoral reforms. That is what we need. If we have an electoral process that can bring in people, we know not all of us are above the table, we are above the board, but we have those we can at least vouch for. That when they get there, they will not steal everything. There are teams that will come to your house, they take your gold, they look at your granite soup, they go and lick it and take it away with Akpu, as the case may be. That's the people we have in government today. They still made in China in the port. I mean, it's so sad. So these are the reformations they're talking about. What reformation has the president done that he will not say you continue reformation? Has the president imbibed section 14 sub 2b of the 1999 constitution? Has he reformed section 15 sub 1? Has he reformed section 16 sub 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the 1999 constitution? Talk about the educational reforms that we need, the health reforms that we need. Has he done that at the federal level? So please, this deceit, monumental deceit and charade and shibboleths, we are tired of it. All and right, I believe that we need to rejig and be sincere with ourselves on how we do these things.
This man make a lot of sense, and on the way that it inspired or it give hope for people to have ideas about something, have idea on how to make money. When you have idea on how to make money, and when you make money, even though you are in a position that you have never made that kind of money, you'll be able to use it and establish. But if you don't have any idea of how money is being made, when you see money, you will think that there is nothing on this in this life valuable for you again. You think that you are on top of heaven, you are in paradise, like you cannot go down again. See, learn how to make money and learn how to manage money and learn how to control money. If you cannot learn all these things, most especially how to control money, if you cannot know how to control money, money will at the end of the day control you. That is the situation we have now in Nigeria. See, if to say they allowed money to be accessible for everybody, you make money but you cannot see it. Okay, you still make money but you are using it to spend. But if they allow money to be accessibility to all, when you make money, you go you establish your business. Government, all these taxes of a thing, it would soon be like much like YouTube now. They will tax you like tomorrow no day. You will make 10 like let me say $50, they will give you like 20 or 25, and they will carry 25 because of the tax. It depends the people, the country that watched your videos. See, forget government, una suppose do better. Make una do better for this country, because if una no do better, this one they are fighting, Tinubu should become president, Peter Obi should become president, Atiku should become president. It should not be. See, when the election comes, when the presidential election comes, it should just be gradually, it should just be jejely. There will be no more buy INEC, there will be no more arguing, there will be no more buying food. It's just, okay, you're supposed to be a president, go and sit there. You're supposed to be a governor, go and sit there. All this killing, all these bandits, if the country work amicable, I don't think there will be all this pie of people every day, every year and there. I beg, may we do better.
Mr. President has done extremely very, very well in road and bridges infrastructure. And I promised that, I was going to publish all the projects that are over 10 billion across the entire country. I'm trying to be very correct in what I'm doing, and so that will come next week. And you will be able to see the great things that Mr. President is doing. No section of the state or country is left out in his infrastructure development, road and bridges, wide.
All right, Dr. Abati, over to you.
Okay, very quickly. Earlier this morning, I had read a statement from the Minister of Works, Minister Dave Umahi, that in fact that Benin bypass, that is on a palliative contract, and that is the CCECC that is involved. But the basic point needs to be made. The second point that he has made now is that there are projects all over the country, and that there is no discrimination against anybody. And that next week is going to give a comprehensive list of all the projects of the federal government that is over 10 billion naira. But let this point be made about standards. Now, if you check some of these routes, you check the previous government, maybe the previous government, the previous administration also awarded contract. The previous administration before that one also awarded contract on these routes. But you find a situation whereby some of these routes are awarded, and then after 2-3 years, the next rainy season, the roads are washed away. That's the thing about standards and quality, which is why I think it's instructive that the person who is Minister of Works now is an engineer. Yeah. Because if you go to somebody, maybe a journalist, you make a journalist Minister of Works, somebody who cannot even interpret drawings, who does not know anything about bill of quantities and all of that. So these contractors, some of them appointed for political reasons. So we keep spending money on these roads, and then they get washed away the next rainy season, and we find this embarrassing situation. Either you attribute it to erosion, but it's also about quality and standard. The present minister is talking about using cement, and I think he has some experiment, between Abuja and Kaduna, where they are using cement in other places, following the example that has been established elsewhere. Like if you go from Accra to Tema, The whole of that road has been there since I was a younger person. The road is still standing up to now. The other thing is about maintenance of these roads. When Nigerians build roads, even if it is of good quality, they leave it. Look at Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Nobody maintained it for years. And that was why that road collapsed. And now it's been rehabilitated. We must also develop the culture of maintenance. If you go to the UK, you will not see pothole. And it's because, you know, there's a sunset clause. Even if the road is in a good condition, after a particular time, they will redo the road. So we ought to get to that level. Otherwise, we'll have this perpetual agony of roads that collapsed and all that. Look at Lagos to Calabar, I mean the main one, across the Niger. When I was an undergraduate, that's the same road we were using now. To Benin, Benin was less than 2 hours.
Yes.
From this Lagos. We got to a point in this country that to go to Benin, people were sleeping on the road.
Oh, unfortunately.
And once they are strapped like that, armed robbers will attack them, kidnappers will attack them. This is still the same thing about the quality of life, about the dignity of the human person that we're talking about. So that should be the long-term goal.
Yes.
And, you know, one government must begin to insist on those standards and the maintenance culture.
Talking about quality of life, your thoughts on the young man who has embarked on this trek to raise awareness.
Well, I mean, okay, these activists,
yes,
whether the one with the Benin bypass or the one on the Auchi-Ibilo road, I mean, these are activists who are trying to draw attention,
yes,
to omissions, failures. And I think, well, they have a role to play. It's called citizen action, you know, to draw attention. But I don't know how much distance it is from Auchi to Ibilo, but, you know...
he said he doesn't mind sleeping on the road for 4 days. It takes 4 days.
But he's doing something positive,
yes,
highlighting something. The only clause here about these activists, because many others in some other states who acted in a similar manner, they were arrested and detained for embarrassing government. Now, no citizen should be arrested for merely just saying, look, we are suffering. You know, come and help us.
Yes.
I don't think that is a criminal offense, you know, because there is provision for citizen action, you know, citizen initiative. So, and in fact, it's asking for help.
Yes.
But in some other states, that one that Benin bypass and this one, they will have been arrested.
This is it. He's asking for help, and Okpebolo came. He looked really excited in that video, Vimbai.
I mean, listen, I love the story of listening leadership. Yes. That don't take criticism as an attack, yes, that are able to embrace criticism and say, you know what, let's go and let's find out what the situation is on the ground.
Yes.
Two themes continue to stand out in Edo State under the leadership of Governor Monday Okpebolo. Number one is security. Number two is infrastructure. Now, we've spent a lot of time on infrastructure. Now, looking at security, it has been one event after the other. Of course, there was the major one that happened with the alleged hunters who were traveling to Kano. Then recently, I believe you brought a video of some vigilantes who were beating up a gentleman. And what does this tell us? This is 2 instances of vigilantes who are behaving in an excessive manner.
Yes.
Now, many people might say that he dismantled the security infrastructure that the previous governor, Governor Obaseki, had set up. If you remember, all that happened after the election and so forth, and there was a spike in insecurity at that time. So people are attributing it to that. Whatever the case may be, he certainly has spent a lot of time and effort, commendably so, with addressing the issue of cultism in the state. And I hope that he will now be able to come up with some sort of sustained security solution to the abductions, the kidnappings, the excessive force being used by the vigilantes who have now taken it upon themselves to do self-help because the place is not as safe as they would like it to be. So a lot lies on the table for him on his agenda. But, you know, like he said, in 8 months, he has done more than somebody else did in 8 years. So we look forward to seeing what he will be able to do in the next couple of months to address these very critical issues.
Absolutely. And, you know, I must commend Dave Umahi as well, but also we charge him him, we really would love to see that infrastructure plan that he said that he will reveal next week. I mean, because this controversy about regional bias, Kwankwaso saying that the northern roads are not being fixed, and Dave Umahi here is saying that the president has embarked on an infrastructure revolution and that infrastructure is across all states. Meanwhile, the Kaduna State Governor, Uba Sani, has reiterated his stance on President Tinubu's unprecedented level of assistance to state governors and local governments, surpassing any previous Nigerian president. Speaking on Arise Prime Time with Charles Anyago, Governor Sani stated that presidential support isn't just about financial allocations, but also about discretionary interventions the president has made across all states. Let's take a look.
Yes, I'm going to praise him again here today. In the history of Nigeria, no subnational, no president have supported subnational as much as Asuwaju Bola Tinubu. I am unapologetic. I stand by my statement. People who are speaking are not governors. Maybe they might be hiding, but when I speak as a governor, and I say governors. When someone who is not a governor presented himself to speak, I just laugh at him because even someone say, how dare Uba Sani says that? But you are not a governor. How do you say how dare? Because when I said governors. I didn't say Charles, or I say Victor, or Emmanuel. Listen to me, my brother. You see, when I speak the facts. And I speak on the basis of facts. When you said federal allocation, yes, every state governor will get financial, but it's not allocation. Its intervention is at the discretion of the president. So President Bola Tinubu is within his discretion. Everything that is due to the state is being paid to the state. You understand what I'm talking about? Again, let me give an example. When I was about to start a light rail in Kaduna, I went to the president. I said, Mr. President, Kaduna is the political capital of northern Nigeria. We need a light rail. But then, it's not about President Bola Tinubu giving me money. I don't want him to give me money. I only want him to put some money in the budget for Kaduna State because I know the system and I want Kaduna to be considered as one of the states for the light rail. And 100 billion is put in the budget for Kaduna State. I'm just mentioning Kaduna. But there are many other governors that have put President Bola Tinubu on other important projects. And he decided to support them with intervention. When I said, irrespective of party affiliation.
All right. It's good to hear Governor Uba Sani here, maintaining his stance. And, that clarification he made about it's not just about allocation, it's about intervention. And he says he has a point because he has experience and he's a governor. Your thoughts?
The man who is in the arena knows how he feels.
Correct.
And that's why he was making the point that he's a governor. That some of the people who are criticizing, saying, it was just singing President Tinubu. Are they governors? The answer is no. So, he's responding to armchair critics. And he says he's not speaking for himself alone, that there has been increased allocation from the federal government. And there's very good relationship also, I can affirm, between the federal government and also Kaduna State, as well as perhaps,
other states.
Other states.